So I want to give you an example of what one of these solutions may look like. This is ours. We call it the FQMS, the Fluid Quality Monitoring System. You can see that it comes with several sensors: a wear debris sensor, viscometer, oil quality, including direct output of water, relative humidity from the oil, and temperature of the fluid. And on the right-hand side, you can see a couple of examples. One is an installation on a haul truck. The other is an installation on a stationary piece of equipment. But what's nice about this is it's relatively easy to install. There's one inlet for fluid and one outlet for fluid to pull that fluid in and return it back to the piece of equipment. It is designed for industrial IoT in terms of it has a data logger, it has multiple ways of communicating back to the software. It can be integrated into your own data system if that's what you are looking to do. And it supports the continuous real-time monitoring. So when we take a look at this and we look at how that may integrate back in, that standard FQMS comes with oil quality, wear debris, viscosity, everything we talked about. But because it is a true IoT solution, you're also able to think about other sensors that may be useful. And so when you're looking at IoT solutions for this, thinking about flow meters, pressure, temperatures, proximity, particle counters, wireless vibration even, you're really looking for a full end-to-end solution. So really being able to customize an IoT solution is important for your online oil monitoring program and what that looks like. And so making sure that you take that into account, having a flexible data logger, as well as a software platform that can handle those different inputs is important to kind of have an all-in-one location where you can look at that data. Secondarily, being able to have that integrated with your oil lab analysis is important as well. Our platform is able to do that as well, and so you'd be able to have both your lab data and your online data in one location to kind of optimize how you look at your oil quality and condition. And so here's an example of how all that comes together, installed in the haul truck that I showed you, being able to provide that data back to either a mobile device or your computer, anything with the web browser. An example of on the left-hand side of just changing your oil too often, and so being able to go back and saying, okay, this is what it should look like, here's where I'm changing my oil, as opposed to not changing it through the full life cycle of that oil and extending the life, obviously reducing your oil cost and over time. And the right-hand side, again, this is the example we showed earlier of catching that coolant leak, being able to see immediately, getting an alarm, getting an alert that there is something wrong with the oil that we have to take action on. And so when you have that full IoT end-to-end solution, you really have a streamlined process of not only gathering the right data through a reliable source, reliable connection, but also being able to see that data and get those alerts immediately when things are going wrong or could be going wrong, so that you can take the right next steps to correct that issue. And so some of the key takeaways I'd like to have you guys walk away with is, one, the faster detection is the obvious value. So it allows for immediate corrective and preventative action that you would be unable to do with periodic oil sampling, where you do have long periods of time in between where things can go wrong and you would not have that sample pulled to see what those results look like. It's also nice that it's very repeatable and trendable, which allows you to be very confident in the oil condition, especially if you are combining it with lab sampling. For those of you who have very remote locations where you do not have technicians there often, you can save a lot of cost of having and forcing them to go there to take those oil samples or do some other things. But if you do have the technicians on site, just not having to get them into that working environment as often while pieces of equipment may or may not be in operation or running is a big safety improvement. But we do want to make sure that we're very clear that it is definitely not a complete replacement for lab analysis. Definitely will help reduce the number of samples, but they do go hand in hand. In one case, you have lab samples who are going to give you a very good, in-detailed understanding of what the actual measurements are for these different oil properties. Another one is a trending and detection tool to increase your reactiveness and preventative action you can take to improve the reliability. So thanks for joining me. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Steven Steen at PoseidonSystems.com, and I'm happy to answer your questions. Thank you. Bye.